We're going to do a nice cool seventh arpeggio exercise. We're going to start off with a BPM of 80 like that. Here's a drum beat. You're going to double up time. Okay, and now we're going to break it down and see what we're actually doing there. It's a nice exercise for both ear training and to get your pinky working. You see my fingers are numbered. Try and keep the fingers the same as what I'm using inside the video as well. And we're starting with a C major arpeggio. Now we're going to come in a bit closer there so you can focus in onto the notes. And obviously you've got the PDF file for this as well, so you can read the tabs straight off. But if you want to take it from the video and play along, here we go. Starting on C, there's the major third, fifth, major seventh, octave. So slow motion. And you don't come back to the root note, because if you do, you've got one note too many. And what we mean by that is for your counting, check this out, we're working 4/4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we're stopping on the and after the 4, which means the next first count, the 1, needs to be on the D. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 onto the E. So your first count needs to be on the next arpeggio. So if you play through with me now, sort of slow motion, just to get a feel for the first 3 bars, slow mo, we're going to have this 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now you'll notice I'm doing it with quite a high gain distortion as well. I'd like you to try it on overdrive as well as on clear sound, because obviously with overdrive and distortion with high gain, string noise is quite easy to get, and we don't want that, which means you have to focus now on your picking hands technique. And you'll notice my thumb is resting on that string to keep the strings quiet. You can see the strings moving. So if I'm playing through the same 3 bars, watch how close my thumb gets to the strings. And you can also look at the bottom. Look at those 2 fingers that are moving, fingers 3 and 4. Well, actually the middle finger and ring finger, sorry, 2 and 3 rather. They're actually holding on to strings 1 and 2, so they can't make a noise. So I've got complete control of my guitar. So at any given time, try to make sure that you've only got 1 string sounding at a time. So this would be a bad technique. You can hear I've got a lot of strings making a noise there and over here. Nice and clear. So try your best to have nice string control. Now, as we're going through it, what I want us to learn from this over here is shapes. Shapes are quite important, especially for arpeggios. This is the major 7th shape. So later when you get to the F major 7, the same finger sequence must actually occur. Because if you think about it, major 7 means you're using the 1st, 3rd, 5th, and major 7. So that shape has to be constant no matter where you're playing from. So your finger sequence for the C major 7 is the same as the F major 7. For your D minor 7, same shape as the E minor 7. Same shape as the A minor 7. Now, if you've done a bit of theory, you should also know that the difference between a dominant 7th and the major 7th is that the 7th note is flattened. So when you get to position 5, the dominant position inside the major scale, for those with a bit of music background, you're not going to play G major 7, but G7. So very important, G7 is not G major 7. It's actually meant to be called G dominant 7th. And watch this. 1st, 3rd, 5th. You want to play this, but because it's dominant, you flatten it. And there's your flattened 7th. And that's your G7th arpeggio. So let's take it slowly from the beginning now. C major 7, so it's going to have minor 7, minor 7 again from E, F major 7. Notice the major 7 sees the ring finger, dominant 7, uses the middle finger, and then back to the minor 7. And then we end off with a B minor 7 flat 5, which means you've got a minor 7, but the fifth must be flattened. That's why it's called B minor 7 flat 5. So you do that. And that's your B minor 7 flat 5 arpeggio. One more time, but up close there. Ooh, sorry about that one note. Certainly quite awkward over here. Okay, but the PDF will give you all the correct notes as well. Now, use a metronome. I can't stress enough the use of a metronome. So I'm going to take it up to 100 BPM and I'm going to play it through slow motion at 100 BPM. I'm going to count you in so you can play through with me. And we can take it, say, maybe 2-3 different speeds for the fun of it. Are we ready? Here we go. Get your finger ready by fret number 3 for C. I'm assuming you've gone through the shapes once or twice, so you're familiar with it. And now we can play along with the video. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, and... You can also play it backwards as well. C major 7 first, and you do something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and... which I highly recommend as well. Then you start increasing the speed. That was 100 BPM. You're going to take that to 115 now, just so you get a bit of a change there. And I'll be ready to try it again. 1, 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... gradually increase speed. Try 130 for example. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 and... Now obviously we can do other reverses as well. For example, start from the octave. Now this is not one of my strongest, so there's a fair chance I'm going to fluff a note or two here. So we're going to go backwards, but we're going to start from the octave. Check there. There's my C major 7, and that plays nice into my B minor 7 flat 5, which plays nice into A minor 7. And you're going to reverse. So this is to give you the ideas. You need a metronome, strong coffee or tea, okay, and sit down and run them through. Get the pinky working. Make sure you do it with some nice high gain. Obviously, if you play an acoustic player, do it in acoustic as well. I was using hammer-ons and pull-offs. You don't have to use hammer-ons and pull-offs. Ideally, I'd actually like you to practice both. So pick everything and hammer-on and pull-off everything as well. It gets you good with both techniques. I don't want to sort of advocate that one technique is more important than the other, but get used to it. And then finally, to wrap up, what's important to this is that everything that you've seen over here is in the key of C major. For those that know what quartets are, we've built chords in the key of C. In other words, you've used the notes from the C major scale to build these chords. So it's good ear training, it's good key relationship, it gets you chord knowledge. If you've got any information, or any questions that you need more information, drop me a WhatsApp. Happy to hear from you. Take care. Bye.